Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan.
Iowa, Massachusetts,
Georgia, Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesia,
Bay Lake Tower,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs,
Beach Club.
and Wilderness Lodge.
And you're listening to
and you're listening
You're listening to my DVC voice.
Well, welcome home, everybody. It's me, Chad. I am back this week, and I would also like to welcome back to the show Samantha.
Hi.
How you doing today, Samantha?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing great. And then we're going to welcome back Alicia this week.
Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
Alicia.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back to the show. And we also want to welcome a first-time guest to the show.
Hi.
Hey, Christy. So we have Christy from the DCL podcast with us. So I'm really excited to have her, and she's going to share with us some great information about the DCL cruise policy changes coming up here. And we'll talk about how that could or could not relate to DVC when we get to it. But we've got a great show for you tonight. We're talking Mickey, Minnie, Railroad, Flower and Garden, some new DVC swag shirts that are coming out. Actually, they're already out. They're available for order. And then we will move over to the cruise topic and coronavirus and kind of touch on that just because it's kind of the current going trend these days. But have you guys all watched the video for Mickey, Minnie, Runaway Railroad? No, Christy, you holding out for no spoilers?
I don't want any spoilers.
Okay. Well, I wonder who else out there has seen it or who else out there is with them for the this. Oh, I forgot the other opening question. My bad. So, what's everybody's countdowns?
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. So,
I'm at like 37 weeks, I think. So
Hey!
I was prepared. I think it's got to be longer than that, though. It feels like forever.
So you're 30. You're in the weeks, Samantha.
I'm at 57 days, and I'm so excited.
57 days. So you're past fast passes, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Got almost everything I wanted, so it was a good day.
So, Christy, when's the next time you're going home? Or I guess home is a cruise ship for you.
Well, yes, but I am going to Walt Disney World in 25 days.
All right, 25 days. So I think I am like just about to the fast pass window. I'm like 60 something days away.
You should
Yay.
know that with some specificity.
Well, I do. Here's the deal. We're like testing the app right now. So I am seeing countdown timers and playing with it and creating, because we've got this really cool feature that comes back in and it'll write on your calendar and like blow your phone up right before fast pass time with alerts and alarms.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah. And so I've been like setting them for every day so that I can test it and make sure that it goes off. So I don't know if I'm coming or going yet, but once we get this app testing thing done and we get that ready to go, I'll be able to tell you exactly. So
I mean, I feel like you should test before, or you should know before the 60-day mark. Maybe.
what does it writes
Well,
it to
but
your
you should. You should be prepared.
Well, I am prepared. I just have so many of them going
Mm-hmm.
because I have to set a new one so that tomorrow is a 60 day. Okay.
Oh, for the testing. Otherwise,
Yes.
I was going to say first world problems.
Yeah. It's all for the testing, right? It's all for the testing.
And
It doesn't
Christy,
help that
you're-
this is like a 4-way split stay as well. So
Oh,
That's
wow.
complicated.
And you're going at spring break, right, Christy?
Yes, I'm so scared.
And you have a little one, too, right?
I do.
That'll be fun.
So yeah.
got it. Well, let's see when everybody else is going home here. So,
Dan Austin is at 272 days.
Yay.
yay, that's an improvement, Dan. Right? That's definitely an improvement.
It's always fun when the wait list comes through.
Yeah. And Mary's saying 49 days, 198 days, and 315. Now that is a true DVC number.
That's
That's
nice.
awesome.
I
Right?
don't know all my countdowns yet, but good on you, Mary.
I'm telling you. Maybe we'll have to build that into the app so that it shows multiple ones on there. Jim is saying 101 days for him. And Ian and I are going together. So 76 is my official countdown. Thank you for correcting us there, Ian. So,
Good job,
That's
Ian.
awesome.
Ian's got my back, man. I'm telling you, right?
I love his profile with Star Wars. That's so fun.
Yes, and 193 days. And So Caleb is saying 3 days until Moonlight Magic and 111 days till back home. And Samantha, you wanted to talk about that as well. I didn't even get that into the agenda item tonight.
So thank you, Caleb, because I was going to remind everybody who wants to do Moonlight Magic at Epcot on May 4th that our registration, if you have a reservation, opens on March 11th, which is Wednesday. So 9 a.m. Get on the computer if you want to go.
It's not just May 4th. It's every Epcot party this year because they run 3 Epcots in a row.
Oh.
And so everybody who has an Epcot reservation registers at the same time that day. So if you're going to Epcot and have a reservation, that's the day.
What are the other days? Do you know?
I don't know them off the top of my head. I know the May 4th one.
I don't know, but we were just talking pre-show that would be a really cool thing to just build into the app as well. So just like a home button page is when is Moonlight Magic? Because we all ask that question constantly. So we can try to plan around it. But
I bet they're not going to be at Thanksgiving and Christmas, so I probably won't be able to go, but but it sure sounds like fun.
So if I get into the May 4th one, I will have the world's longest arrival day because my flight here leaves at 6 a.m. I'll be at May 4th at Hollywood Studios all day long, and then I will be at Moonlight Magic till 1 o'clock in the morning. So if anyone sees me, just hand me a coffee.
well, May the 4th be with you, right?
Yes.
She's going to need it.
Yeah, you're going to need it with that touring plan.
And not if, Samantha, when you get into Moonlight Magic.
Yes.
Put it out there.
Positive vibes.
Well, it is Epcot, so it's kind of like the least desirable one they have, in my opinion, because it's like all torn up right now, and there's not a lot of e-ticket stuff going on. Yeah. So it's like if I didn't make it to Epcot this year, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. Okay. Now, Hollywood Studios, yeah, I'll take that one. Okay. But so let's see. Another cool comment here was Mary was saying, Samantha, your interview on the podcast was great.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
And it sure was. And that was what, mydvcpoints.com/077.
Yep.
Impressive.
Yeah, 77, episode 77 for Sam. And that was a really fun episode to do. So if you guys want to get to know Sam more, go ahead and check out episode 77.
A good motivator for the millennials, I think.
I listened to that one.
Yeah, so that's Samantha. So we'll put 2 and 2 together here, right?
Apparently, I need that.
Anyways, we promise, guys, we will do no spoilers other than like technological high-level stuff, okay? But we won't get into details as to what you're seeing here because I did see a few comments pop up about that. So Jim was saying no spoilers for me and that they skipped Wednesday for Flower and Garden as well. So that's right. I think you were on property last week, Jim. And Scott's saying that the new ride looks awesome. And I got to be honest with you. I wasn't super excited about this ride. And I haven't heard like really super positive things from the normal everyday people. Like the YouTubers and the people that get the media access, of course, they're all saying it's great. But other than that, I haven't heard like over the top killer stuff from most people. So I'm curious as to what everybody here is thinking. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, it's cool. It's fun that you've got a family attraction that you can take everybody from infant to grandma and grandpa on the same ride and everybody can enjoy it and have fun. So that part I'm really digging. I'm digging the fact that Minnie finally got his own ride. So
wait, what? Minnie finally got his own ride?
Yeah,
Minnie.
Yeah. Minnie and Mickey, right? So he got his own ride, right? So yeah. Minnie got her own ride too. So
I do think it's at the right space, I would say, because with the Playhouse Disney is kind of little kid focused and Mickey focused and lots of fun like that. I think it'll be in a good like pop to zone for littler ones. I think it'll be a good nostalgia piece. I've read a lot of the articles. I don't usually watch the videos, because I don't want the spoilers, but I read everything I can on the articles. If you ever see articles get shared to the page, that's probably me. but I think it'll be a great step in the technology world because I guess there's no track. So I think that'll be kind of fun just to see what that's going to be like about. But it'll be just good to say, This is Mickey and Minnie. Like this is where it starts. Let's do this.
Yeah, I've seen some positive reviews on Twitter from regular people.
Oh, really?
I mean, those are Diz Twitter people, so there are people that are already into Disney, but yeah, regular non-media went there, stood in line, rope dropped it. I had a client that really enjoyed it. She absolutely loved it. That went this past week.
Well, that's good to hear, especially on Twitter, because Twitter is usually not the most positive place in the world for Disney. You know, it's kind of like the least desirable Disney place for me is to be on Twitter. Okay, it's just so much like fighting and back and forth, and I think it's because it's the main politics realm, and people are they take that mindset and bring it over to Disney.
You can get past that part.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm wondering has anybody else that's been tuning in and watching tonight, has anybody seen this yet or been on the show? So just looking through some comments here, and Alicia was saying that she left right before it opened up, that the cast members that she talked to in the preview raves about. So that's always good to hear. It's always good to hear. I watched the ride through video, and what I was impressed with was we've been putting this projection technology into rides for some time now. Seven Dwarfs has it in there. The new Frozen ride has projection technology in there, but it's always been projected on a static piece of hardware. Okay. And what Mickey and Minnie's does to kick things up a notch is now they have moving hardware. So the projectors are actually timing the projection with the movement of the object that they're projecting on. And it adds another layer of complexity to it. So once I saw that and figured that part out, I was really kind of going, yeah, this is kind of cool. And
Did they have that in Pandora? And the river, what's the riverboat one?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Oh, no? Okay.
Everything.
No. Go ahead, Christy.
Everything in Pandora is there. Like, there is some movement. Like, there's that one thing that's like a deer, that's not a deer, that's like a deer, that, like, walks on the screen or whatever, but nothing else. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of other projection, anything happening.
There's, like, a lizard shadow on the ceiling at times.
Yeah.
Right? And he kind of dances around some. But you can tell that that's a shadow that's moving up there, okay? This is a physical object that's moving, and they're projecting onto a moving object. And then the other part that was really cool to it is just like Walt's original kick it up a notch with multiple planes of animation, when he did that camera to provide the depth within 2D worlds, they've also got multiple objects and depth-wise that they're projecting on as well. So you get that same level of feeling from the cartoons. And from that, it seems pretty authentic to get back to the cartoons and the way they're doing the depth projection there. So that's what I was kind of excited about on that one.
So I watched, I usually don't watch ride-throughs before I go on something, but I did for this. And there's one part in the ride, and Chad, me and you talked about this before, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like, I'm so excited to experience just this one part of the ride. Because honestly, I hadn't heard a whole lot about this ride before, the week before it opened. And I'm not super crazy about the new animation style, but like, this one part of the ride, I think, makes the whole thing really cool and really worth it.
Yeah, that's the entry, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is it similar to the Beauty and the Beast feel? Or the Belle, the story time with Belle. The first time
we said no spoilers. So.
I know, but that
No,
but I was saying the story time with Belle, that wowed me to tears when that moment happened. So I'm like, hopefully, this ride also has some wow moments like that.
It was a wow. It was definitely a wow.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And so Mary makes this comment here that she's pretty excited about it. She's some of the hidden Mickeys, and they look fun. And I have to imagine the hidden Mickeys would be elevated and kicked up a notch here, right?
I think I heard that it was the ride with the most hidden Mickeys in it. So they really threw a lot in there. So that's a challenge to see if you can find them all.
That's good. They should. I mean, it's Mickey and Minnie's hidden. Yeah, it's their ride. It should, right?
I wonder if that'll go into the game, which I love the game. I don't know if you guys played that app, the Disney game app. Mm-hmm. It's so fun. And they do that in like Peter Pan. There's a whole like hide and seek game while you're waiting in the queue. So that could be part of the game.
Yeah. That must be what happens over Thanksgiving. I don't wait in that line
At Peter Pan?
Yeah.
That line is always ridiculous. Like,
no.
Yeah, no, it's an hour and a half, no matter
Yeah,
Oh my
I don't,
gosh.
I don't
Yeah,
have the
no.
patience for that one.
what. Yeah.
No, and Brandy's saying that she's getting excited for this one, but she's going to miss the great movie ride.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Yep. So I can do that one.
Sandy said that she had 5 different friends ride it this week and loved it.
Okay. So there we go. Or 5 different families. Okay. So that's what's going on there. And Rob was saying that Tim Tracker did some vlogs about the hidden Mickeys on the ride. And so we'll have to go check out Tim's video in that. Maybe I'll put a link to it into the blog post of this episode.
It'd be good
But-
to know how many we're trying to find.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody knows. So I think what I'll do, because I'm going and we have a couple of fast passes for it over our 8-day trip. So I think I will go on the ride and then I will look to see some vlogs about the hidden Mickeys or something like that. And then so when I'm riding it the next time, I can look for those.
Got it.
Because I don't want to look at anything beforehand.
Spoiler free, right?
Yes, that's what I'm going for.
That's what I was going for at Rise of the Resistance. So it was pretty hard to do because Disney themselves
Yeah, in their
kind
own
of-
pictures.
and an Imagineering story as well. But
See, and I didn't watch that for that reason.
Yeah.
I've seen virtually nothing.
Perfect.
Like even that part of the Imagineering story, I like fast forwarded and looked away. Like I couldn't.
got it. So well, Mary's
so cool.
saying that she really enjoyed it. So I'm sure we've got something great to look forward to there. So other thing that's really cool, and I have been working on this for quite some time, okay? And just quite some time, but I finally got the new t-shirts up on the dvcswag.com site. And people had been asking for lighter colored t-shirts and pink t-shirts. So let me come back in and
Look at my comment. I need that pink shirt.
yes.
I'm
And so-
buying it.
The way you have to find them, because it's just really weird, and I'll maybe fix it later, but for right now you have to click and say, do you want a light shirt or a dark shirt? And you can see like the difference here is the My DVC points is either white or black, the text, because it has to contrast, right? So they made me upload it a couple different ways, but once you come into this, you can then select, do you want the sweatshirt? Do you want this t-shirt?
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah, isn't that
then-
cute?
Yeah, and then once you do that, you can then pick the colors, okay? Because
And they ship pretty quick too. So if anybody needs them for their spring break trip,
yeah, absolutely.
Hint, hint, hint.
Yep.
hell yeah.
And the other thing that I did was just a special promotion for, well, probably a month or two at least, is I dropped the price on these things to the lowest they would let me sell this for. So like the actual cost that they charge is $16.50 on the shirts. So I only marked it up a penny. That was the least they would let me do it, because I want to start getting people to start wearing the shirts and doing some posts of them in the parks wearing the shirts, because it's great advertisement out there. So I'd rather have people advertising it than to make a buck or two off of the shirts, is the way I looked at it.
And I always think it's fun. So if you wear them at the parks and people are looking and they're like, she looks familiar. And then, but if you're wearing the shirt, then they're like, hey, I know you, right? So
Yep.
I almost.
And so there's everything here. You can come into the dark side, right? I guess it's the light side, the dark side. But you've got everything.
I see
in
what you
here
did
as
there.
well. Yep. So, and different colors along there. Sometimes there's some dark blues, whatever I could find in there. But I think this is the old shirt. So it is. It's the same shirt, and I had it at $29.99. So
And the
Yeah.
sizing's pretty spot on. They're really comfortable. They wash well.
they're Gildan shirts. So it's the standard shirts from anything that you'll find out there in printed merch. But if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and take that back off.
I need the
Yeah,
pink shirt, see?
There you go. Right.
You shouldn't have given me that power, Chad. It's too fun.
Yeah, well, so. And again, the website there is just dvcswag.com. Facebook was blocking the original post from doing the forward to it. But dvcswag.com just forwards over to my page at represent.com. And some great shirts there. And we're going to start doing a Who Wore It Best kind of contest. And I'll be giving away like a $25 gift certificate once a month here on the live show. and we'll be showing some photos of people that they've submitted of them rocking the shirts in the park, and we'll go from there. So
I have to be all family friendly, right?
Yeah.
so
And
All family friendly.
nice.
Yes.
To be kind, right?
I know I didn't want to do white shirts. Okay, I'm like, Andrew, Splash Mountain, white shirts, buddy. Let's just not go
Was
there.
Alicia going there? I don't know that she was
Right?
going there.
Nope, I was.
So,
I'm a owner of a bar. I gotta go there.
but I mean, it's just like it's Florida. It rains all the time, so that's why
Yeah.
I only have the dark shirts.
Layers. You have to put like a tank under that and some layers. That's
Got
how
it.
you rock the white.
Unless you're a millennial, then a hot pink sports bra works just
There you go.
fine. Yeah.
No,
No.
it will not. No.
Perhaps a thicker one of the ones with like coating or something. Sandy wants to know if there's kid sizes, Chad.
I didn't see any on there, so I've still got to figure that part out. That was the one thing about Represent that I didn't like, and I've been trying to switch over to Amazon merch, but I just got tired of it today, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to upload the logos here and get them up there and at least get something going, because they've been sitting in my inbox for 6 months now. So I'll work on kid shirts somehow, some way. I can't. Hopefully, it doesn't take me another 6 months. If it does, maybe I'll have some that I'll just bring with me in August when we meet up. So
You have to work on a zipper hoodie as well.
yeah, a zipper hoodie is one thing they didn't have on their site. They had a regular pullover sweatshirt, and then they had a hoodie as well. But there's no like zipper hoodie on that one as well.
And a front zipper
Yeah.
jacket.
Zipper jacket.
Yeah, that's the one that we're wearing. These are embroidered, and I can't find a drop ship company out there to make these and embroider them. So these I've just sent to people that are co-hosts and in the Patreon group and things along those lines. So because what I have to do is actually have to go to a local store, order them, buy them, pay for them, pick them up, take them to the post office myself, package them and ship them. And it's just kind of a lot, and they're expensive. Like these things are about $100. So I didn't know that too many people would want to buy them, but they'll be in the Patreon group. So that's where they'll be. If you guys want to come back in, you can do a post in there, and I'll definitely go through that for the Patreons. So anyways, dvcswag.com, new merch, new shirts. And the reason why I kept it DVC Swag was so I could move from vendor to vendor and just keep the domain name the same. So if I find one that can do kid shirts as well or a better site, we'll move over there. So, and then somebody wrote this comment that Andrew is going to wear one at Top of the World April 12th and will join you live if you need him to.
Oh, fun.
So it sounds like Andrew is on the YouTube channel. So yes, absolutely. So Andrew will host a Who Wore It Best contest right there on April 12th.
That's going to be tough to beat.
Yep. So, and thank you so much, Gina.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So hopefully you guys like the new colors, and we'll start to do that. And yeah, Nick can't help you out on that one. So
Well, we could. It depends on how long he's staying there, right? Can't they ship to Disney? I mean,
they possibly could.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
you got a long trip coming. I don't know. Seems like they're within a week, but
Yeah, so not that quick, unfortunately.
yeah, not
yeah, not that quick. Not that quick, right? But moving on to our next topic tonight, Flower and Garden. Who all is excited for Flower and Garden this year?
Yay.
Yeah. Well, I think all three of us are going, okay? Because I'm going to catch the very tail end of Flower and Garden. Ian and I are going to be down there to go to Terry Weaver's The Thing conference in May. And so we came in a couple of days early, and it's right before they shut down Spaceship Earth. So we're really geeked about that we'll get some Spaceship Earth time in. And I'll pick up the second magnet from Flower and Garden because I'm a magnet hound. I don't know who all knows that, but
All right,
Gotta-
so I got to know what all this magnet stuff is, right? So I'm not an AP holder, so y'all have to show me what the good stuff is.
So, Chad, do you have your magnets?
I do, right?
So,
Mine.
if you are a pass holder, you stand in line basically, and they give you that magnet. You know, Samantha, I was thinking if you send me a magic band. Oh, look at
Look at all those little magnets popping up.
if you send me like a picture of your driver's license and
Yeah.
or a scan of your
It doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
They
It
shut
just
that-
worked. I just did it.
When?
November.
That's the last time they did it. In December, they wouldn't let us pick up the Christmas ones.
So,
Oh,
I
Sam
love
had.
Chippendale. So where do you go to get these then? So when you walk in the door, or
They're
it
usually
used
by
to be
mouse
next to Mouse
gears.
Gear.
Right?
and there's just like a dude in a kiosk selling
Yeah.
popcorn that has
In
them.
November, there was a big old line. Yep, I have that one.
Yep.
So cute.
No,
So-
Figment. And so, how long have they been doing this?
I'm not
That
sure.
one.
Well, they started with the white oval ones, okay? And then I think this was one of the first ones that they did, was the Mickey Christmas one.
You know, I think that Steve from the DCL podcast actually got me, because I have that one. I'm staring at it on my filing cabinet, and I actually think that Steve picked it up for me.
So was
Mailed
it
it to
like
me.
years ago? I mean, has this been going on since the beginning of DVC?
2017 is
Yeah,
when they
something
started.
like that. Mhm.
So not that old.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
And
I
it's-
think my first is from 2018 because that's when I became a pass holder.
Got it.
And it's
And Christy,
only
was this the
for
one
this
that you were
festival?
wanting?
Oh,
Yes. Wait, no, not that one. I have that one.
Not
There was
that
a
one?
different one.
Oh, okay.
It was the God, you have a lot of them. Maybe
These
that's
are my
why they
extras.
don't let you pick up extras.
Well, we have 5 people in the family. So, you used to be able to come in there and used to bring in all the kids' magic bands. They would scan them and go, oh, it's the same address, and they'd give me all the kids. And then if I missed one, I would then trade with people. Okay. So I finally, and I ended up just eBaying it for the Simba one because it was only out for like 3
Oh,
days.
to buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one went quick.
so I want to know if anybody out there has more magnets. Like, how many do you all have?
I have.
Like, who's got some
7?
magnets out there? They're all counting.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
looking at their
Eight,
cabinets. For
Magnet-
My complete set is at work because I steal my husband's. That's why I can only give away one. Because my kid, he doesn't notice. And so he does, but he'll take it for a second and then I can take it back. He doesn't know. But my husband, I'll take his and I leave one set at work and one set in my home office.
Got it. That's where mine are all at as well, my full collection. So these are just the backups. Like these are just my trading cards, right? So
So, and then are they only at this festival or all festivals?
it's pretty much every Epcot festival that they do.
yeah,
I don't think they were at the Festival of Art.
Yes, there was a purple Mickey
were?
this year.
yep.
Oh, wait, I do have that one.
It was
Never mind.
really pretty.
I do have it.
Yep. So it's pretty much every Epcot festival. And then sometimes they do like a summer edition. Like Donald was a
Oh.
summer edition one year.
They did
and-
the Simba one was
It was like
kind
one
of a
day though.
random. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was in September-ish. Okay. And it was to try to come back in after Galaxy's Edge was taking away all the visitors because it had just opened. They put the Simba magnets out there to draw some people into Animal Kingdom. So it was about the time. And then they miscalculated how many they needed and ran out, right? But
Always.
High demand.
so anyways, moving on, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Jim said that that line is just too long for him.
Yeah, and I see what he did there with he's not attracted to the magnets, so he must not be
Oh,
he must not be metallic, right? So anyway, so what's everybody else looking into for food and wine? Or I mean not food and wine, but flower and garden this year. And where does this thing rank in terms of your favorite festivals?
So it's my favorite festival. I do love food and wine, and I do try to go every year. But for me, Flower and Garden, it's not just about like the different foods that they have, the different things that they're offering, but it's how pretty Epcot looks. And I think we can all agree that right now Epcot needs a little bit more pretty.
A
All
lot
the
more
construction's going on. So I'm really excited to see all the topiaries. I'm doing 2 tours while I'm there, so I'm making a full day of Flower and Garden.
Got it.
Do they
Christy,
do
where does
Oh, I was gonna say, do they do some seminars when you're there? Like at the art festivals, they teach you how to do some of those things.
So they have a couple different tours. There's one that they only do during Flower and Garden, and it's called Gardens of the World. But I'm actually going to do the English Garden tour. So you get to see like how tea is grown and how it's blended, and then you get a little breakfast in the UK pavilion before everything opens. And then I'm going to do behind the scenes. So I'm going to go behind the scenes of living with the land.
Those are my jam. Those sound like so much fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be so awesome. I'm excited.
So, Christy, where does this rank for you?
So I like the look of Flower and Garden. I like the topiaries. I love the topiaries. But I like the food. And mostly the food is potentially because I can't eat gluten. And so there's not that many options. And the options that exist in Flower and Garden often have seafood in them. And I don't eat seafood by choice, but I can't eat gluten. So I think the food is Food and Wine. The topiaries is Flower and Garden. And so I don't want to pick. I pick both.
Okay. So for me, just being a Michigander, like going in October, it can be hot down there. It can be hotter than the devil in August, or not August, but
Well, it
I guess
can be in
it's
August.
yeah, but I guess it starts in September and it's hot down there then. Okay. And
It
October
actually
is
starts
hot
in
down.
August now, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Could you imagine eating all that food in August?
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
So for me, being from Michigan and being able to buzz down in March, okay, when it's still snowy and cold and yucky here, and be able to see full flowers in bloom and spring is out, that right there puts the Flower and Garden my number one favorite. Okay. And it's that factor alone, because I'm not so much into all the food that's there. It's okay, but like the magnets, I'm all about. And then you start talking about the topiaries and the flowers in the springtime, and I know it's warm there, but it's not hot. Flower and Garden is it. Okay. And then the art festival for me, that thing can be hit or miss. I mean, I was there this January and it was 38 degrees.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
so I'm looking at it going, yeah.
Now that was my favorite. I did
Yeah.
love that one, but I like all of that like personal experience. So we took we've been on a few of those experiences where we, learned how to make the painting behind me, and there's different ones where they can teach you and they're free, and you can just pop in and they show you how they make the
Oh,
Oh.
Well, we lost Alicia.
oh, she's back.
And she's back.
We're trying to keep
Yeah.
it fresh.
There we go. Yeah. Who knows? So hopefully, but there is a lot of different festivals for every kind of art. So that's nice.
Oh, good deal. So let's go to some of the comments here. So Maria was
Maria-
saying that, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Maria was saying that she loved food, followed by art, and then flower. Yeah, that's solid. It's so hard to pick. Why do you have to pick? Who wants to pick their favorite kid? We can't pick our favorite. Alicia, can you pick your favorite kid?
I can.
Depends
No.
on the purpose.
Yeah,
Every
depends
kid
on the
serves a
day.
purpose.
Depends on the day. Yep. You have one kid. How can you even say that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was hypothetically speaking.
So, and Mary's commenting here that art and flower are the best.
I need to
Okay.
do art. That's the one I haven't done yet.
That was
Yeah.
one of the reasons we did our 24-hour trip in January, because I was just like, I need to go see this festival.
Yeah, that's true. And Vicky is commenting here that her favorite topiary is Pooh with his balloon.
Oh, mine too.
Yep. And then Vicky also comments that in true Christy fashion, true to her brand, she always picks both. Okay.
Why do we have to pick?
It's a values deal. Okay. The favorites.
Work harder, go to both.
Yeah, you're right, Vicky. I knew that from the show. I just didn't think about it. Okay. I like set myself up for that one. Okay. Yeah. Or she'll come back in and say, pick your favorite restaurant. Well, I'll take this item from this restaurant and that item from that restaurant. And so,
That's not wrong.
it's not your favorite restaurant though. Okay. Oh, I have more grace for Steve now, right? I just like,
You put up with me?
yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you guys who don't know, Steve was on an episode as well. And we've been trying to bring Christy in for a while. I absolutely love these guys and their show to death. So it's all fun and games that we're doing here. Okay. And then Jim is saying that it's mainly the food and the drinks, and mostly the drinks. And I think that pretty much goes for pretty much every festival they have there. Okay.
Yep.
Scott, food and drinks. Oh, that we just said that way. No, this is the one I was trying to say. I love the arts festival.
My favorite.
That's his favorites. Okay. And then Mary comments that Kermit was cute this year. And Caleb was saying art was amazing, especially using all of those snack credits. So yes, I've been told that people can really get some good value on their snack credits there as well.
And honestly, all the time. Like we
Yeah.
went on like a mission to try and find one of those gigantic donuts, like for our snack credit. We had to walk all the way to the front of the park because they were sold out through the whole park.
Oh
But
no.
that we
But
found
you
one.
were just going from Joffrey's though, right? Wasn't it just a Joffrey's donut you were looking for?
It was one of the, I don't know, they were big, the big donuts.
Yeah, I think those are just Joffrey's. You can find those in all the parks. So, yeah,
We
we
couldn't find
could-
them at Epcot that day. They were all gone.
That's the thing. Joffrey's will run out of their pastries pretty quick. So you got to be on those. Got to be on those. So let's see. And my buddy Ian here was saying that he really loved Flower and Garden because it's just gorgeous there. Food and wine is fine, but I've not been terribly impressed by it. Maybe if I hit up the special events, I'll feel different about food and wine.
I really think for those you have to, engage yourself into, the activities.
Yeah. Like I did last October I did the wine seminar there. So I think it was like $30 a person with the DVC discount. So it was a really fun way to kind of engage with the people who are running the festival. Also, you get wine, so you can't beat it.
Yes.
Yeah, and Rob brings up a really good point here. He goes, aren't they all really just food and wine? Okay.
Just
Yeah.
different themes of food and wine.
Yeah, some they throw the flowers out and it's food and wine, and then they have the food and wine where it's food and wine. Then they throw some art out and it's food and wine.
And it's food and wine.
Okay?
Art
Right?
and wine.
Yeah, art and wine. I get it.
It sells.
So, anyways, now let's transition over to our feature topic this week, and that is the Disney Cruise Line put out a blog post this week expressing some policy changes in light of all of this coronavirus and the scare and the craziness that's going on with this stuff. Christy, can you give us an update on what DCL did, and then we'll pivot into what that could mean for DVC going forward?
Well, it's basically letting people cancel with no penalty. Not necessarily cancel, but move their cruise with no penalty. And they can do this. I need to look up the email really quick, but I think up to 2 days before the cruise.
Wow.
So if they are feeling uncomfortable with going on the cruise, then they can move their cruise. And I think it's in effect for the summer Europe cruises, as well as March and April.
Yeah, there's some definite dates on there, and I put a link to the actual post right at the very top of the comments before we started the show tonight. So it seems like it was the day before, and Disney was one of the most gracious cruise lines for doing it because it seems like a lot of them have been offering some extended grace to rebook, not necessarily cancel, but you can delay it and rebook. And I thought that was an interesting deal because normally you have 90 days in advance, something like that, Christy, is your must be paid by date. And that's when you're locked in, right?
Yeah. And then there starts to be penalties. So you start to incur penalty like 25%, then 50% if you need to cancel after the fact. And this is not triggering anybody's trip insurance. It's just saying you may move your cruise. Now you do have to, they're not giving you any of your money back. You do have to spend in one way or another at least the amount of your cruise. So if your cruise was $6,000 for your family, if the next cruise you buy that you move it to is only $4,000, they're going to put $2,000 onto your onboard credit that you have to spend during the cruise.
Which I think you could suffer through, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. And if you're on the Dream, you can buy that Dave Avanzino art. So I think I may have messed up his name a little bit, his last name. But that letter art that he has, have you guys seen that?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have to look it up. It's really cute.
Oh, cool. So anyways, they've got this new flexibility for their deal there. And over here at the Vacation Club side of life, our standard policy is you have to cancel 31 days in advance to get your points back. And then when you cancel, the points go back to the use year that the reservation was in. Okay? Because if you had to bank or you had to borrow points into the use year of your reservation, they moved into that use year at that time. Okay? That was one-time moves. They can't be moved again. So if you cancel, they just stay in the use year that they were, that the reservation was in. So if it's early in your use year, you have until the end of that year to do it. If it's right near the end of your use year, you have a whatever time is left till your end of your use year to use them. And so what I thought was interesting about this story was, and I've seen a couple of posts online about DVC offering people a little bit of extra grace when canceling due to the coronavirus or traveling with people with some medical restrictions or those with weaker immune systems. So, and I'm wondering when or if we'll see a policy come out from DVC, or if they just kind of handle it on a one-on-one basis.
I think, at least personally, I think there'll be, just because Walt Disney World doesn't really have a policy amendment at this point either. I think it will be when there is more coronavirus in Florida and near and around the parks.
Yeah, so far we've heard what, 2, Samantha? Can you say?
Yeah, 2 confirmed cases in Florida.
And they were more by Tampa.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as it's staying out of the parks, it'll probably be just a one-off exception kind of a deal. But you're talking about one of the busiest airports in the world, okay, over at MCO if you're flying in. And then you're talking about the crowded theme parks and buses and transportation. And there's a lot of people there, okay?
And the last
Definitely a lot of people.
The last article I saw, they were not checking at the Orlando or the Tampa airport, but they were in the Miami one.
Yeah, because it has to do with where the international flights are coming in from.
Mm-hmm.
What other countries?
So they've never closed because of illness before.
Yeah. I mean, when the SARS thing was out, I don't think Disney World closed. Okay. When all of that hype was going on in the SARS fears. So I look at this and I go, I see the cruise ships being a little different because you are contained on there and your whole vacation is contained and confined. You're in really tight quarters with thousands of people and no one can like come and go. So I could see them having a little bit more. And let's just face it, the cruise ships have been the people that have been contained and stuck on the ship for a couple of days. So I could see those guys being a little bit cautious with that. But some of the comments here is Mary was saying that it was more than fair. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with DCL, the Europe, it is jogging my memory a little bit, but Europe with the regular like Bahamas and Caribbean cruises, you have to book within 1 year. But with the Europe cruises, you have 15 months. And that is so in theory, you can go on another European cruise. So 15 months from when you are going to sail. So that is very fair. And they have no obligation to do that. So that's just one of the things that I always try to keep in mind, that whether people are afraid or not, Disney does not, and all these other cruise lines does not have a requirement to allow them to do that.
Yeah, that's absolutely, I think it's a great PR move for them to be doing this. And so Alicia asked a great question here, and I've been thinking the same thing. Do you think there's any chance that rooms on the cruises are being canceled will be resold later at a discount rate?
I do think that probably.
And I hear the people who live down there, they can get cruises for pretty cheap all the time anyway, on last minute, hey, what's open?
Yeah.
And I believe there's some Florida resident rates and military rates that are pretty good.
I know I've got a cruise booked for August 10th on the Dream, and I reshopped it just before the episode, and it was $200 more expensive than opening day. Okay, so I've been sitting on that reservation for a year now. Okay. And
yours is not likely to go back down.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Okay. You know, hopefully it does, but maybe not below opening day, to your point. Okay. So we'll see on that one. I'm going to look at it. If they get really desperate, they might. And at that point in time, I'll try to rebook or do something with that if I can.
Are you in one cabin too?
Mm-hmm.
So, and is it, how many of you are there?
It's 5. It's a family ocean view.
Yeah, so there are less of those. So the likelihood that you would be able to get that at a guaranteed rate at the end that would be cheaper, I don't necessarily see that happening, but you never know. Please report back. But the likelihood is the price that you paid is the price you're paying.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. So I've also
Unless
got
coronavirus goes crazy, in which case.
yeah,
you could get it cheaper.
but I've also got what 2-3 more months here before I can officially bail and get it all back. And I paid with Disney gift cards, so I'll just use it to pay my DVC dues. Okay. So that's
or go on the cruise.
Yeah. Either way, I'm keeping my options open here, right? So I'm hoping I'm going on the cruise. You guys have sold me on the cruise on your show, Christy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Is that your
Where's
first
the-
cruise?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
It's my first Disney one. It'll
Okay.
be my family's first cruise. I did a business conference, I don't know, probably 10 years ago or so on a cruise ship, and it was Celebrity. That was my first cruise. So that's what I've got to compare this to. But from what I'm hearing, this should blow it all away.
I went back as a kid a long time ago. I was probably on one of the first ones, I bet.
Yeah.
But-
And Alicia points out that she now found an article saying that the Florida is up to 18
Oh, wow.
and one in Central Florida. So, yeah, we'll have to see what.
spread. It's gonna go everywhere.
Yeah.
But there's a lot
Yep.
of people in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it in mind. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. And Grant is what I think he makes this key factor as to why I brought this thing up was I wanted to just talk with everybody about the DVC cancellation policies, make sure we keep that in the back of our mind. But he makes this really great point here. He goes, I think the policy on DCL helps to take away the fear factor for booking. Okay. And it shows that they're a really good company. Okay. And so, again, don't be afraid of booking with us. We're going to do the right thing. We're a good company. And that's what I love about Disney. And that's why I'm so brand loyal to them.
And it's nice for anybody who gets sick. Like our school was shut down for 2 full days, so a Friday and a Monday, just for the standard flu. So, I mean, this is just it was not a very cold winter up here. So, I mean, I think that it's, all of those things lead up to just, people get sick. And so this is nice, no matter if whatever your reason is for having to cancel, it's nice that you're able to rebook.
And Chad, let me just say, in fairness to all the other mass market cruise lines and the regular cruise lines that we know of, they're all offering a similar cancellation policy.
Yeah, they're all offering. They're all stepping it up and offering some extra grace here. And I think they almost have to, because I read a news article the other day that showed the stock prices of all of these cruise lines.
It's bad.
And the market is just hammering them. The investors are just bailing and getting out of this. And you're talking 50% drops in price. So might not be a bad idea if you've got some extra cash to invest in some cruise lines at this point, because they will be back. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And Lorraine makes this comment that she's booked for May 8th and she's going. And I know I'm planning on going in May to Orlando, come heck or high water. They would have to close Disney for me not to go on that trip. So I'm just so looking forward to that trip and the conference and Terry and Disney and listener meetups and all that kind of fun stuff. I would have to be sick myself, or they'd have to close Orlando in order for me not to go.
Where does your cruise ship go to? Where does your cruise ship go to?
The one I'm on in August is a 4-day on the Dream, and it just goes to Nassau, which I could care less if I get off there or not. I think Laura and the kids want to, but I could care less about that one. I want to take in the ship, and then we go over to Castaway Cay. So, and I'm looking forward to that, like you wouldn't believe. Okay?
That's the biggest reason I want to go on the Disney cruise again is Castaway Cay. I think that's fun.
Yep.
It's my happy place.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lorraine comments here as well that she says she's probably the May 2nd to the 8th. So she'll probably be there with you, Sam.
Yeah.
And she is going to drive if need be. So, and I saw some people that are watching the show as well. Some of their posts this week said they found from LA like $80 or $125 airfare round trip to Disney because the airlines are just cutting prices to fill seats. And so I was thinking, well, if the airlines are doing it, it's not going to be long until the cruise ships are doing it as well. So that's what I'm kind of looking at for that one as well.
And I'm a proponent of driving. If you need tips for driving, I can get you there.
Yeah. Yep. And so Gina was saying that was her. And Andrew is posting from YouTube that the U.S. State Department warns passengers not to go on cruises, says there's an increased risk of infection on cruise ships. 54 published it. 9:05 p.m. Eastern time. So,
Wow.
all right, there's some cutting news for you guys.
Yes.
So after we started the show, great job, Andrew, for keeping up with that one. So
Hopefully the heat will take care of some of it. Maybe they keep saying that it'll be gone soon, right?
yeah,
I definitely don't disagree. Yeah, I'm hopeful as well, Alicia. I don't disagree with this statement that I don't know that it has to be U.S. citizen specific, but that travelers with underlying health conditions should be thinking it through before they travel by cruise ship.
yep. So, and then Mary's saying here that she got a credit from Southwest points and a voucher from something on one of her ships. And
I'm assuming that's for her to cancel her airline flight.
yeah, yep.
Delta's offering cancellations internationally right now through like the end of May, but only right now their cancellation is only through March to get your money back
Got it. So they're
for the
offering
United States.
they're
Sorry.
offering full money back then.
I believe so. They're it's called one of their travel exceptions, so that you can cancel or you can move your date.
Wow, that is really cool, and that
They
Yeah,
do this
Delta-
around hurricanes and things like that, like bad weather situations.
yeah. So I mean, these companies are stepping it up and they're doing the right thing. Okay, that really gives me a lot of faith, trust in their brands after this thing passes over, because we all know this too shall pass. Okay, the SARS came and it went, and they'll figure out something to get around it, or we'll all just start washing our hands and covering our mouths and doing better hygiene like we should have been doing the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that should have always been employed.
Yeah.
And
Because everybody
So-
else cringed when somebody walks by before coronavirus existed, and somebody's like, as they're walking, like, please, you don't need to cough on me. You can cover.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what she's saying is the flights went down in price and in points, and they refunded the difference there. So
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope this thing whole blows over by August. And if it doesn't, it's good to know that Disney's got my back and they're going to be able to do the right thing and help me get my gift cards back. Because when you pay for a cruise with gift cards, the big risk is if you have to cancel, you have thousands of dollars of Disney gift cards to do something with.
Yeah, you've saved those gift cards, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've used the same gift card to pay.
Okay.
So it'll all come back to the same one.
Perfect.
And I have that card.
Like starred.
Yep. And it's in my online portfolio as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I've taken full precautions here. The other thing is it's easier to just have the travel agent put it up, run one gift card. Hey, there's another 1,000
Right.
on it. Run it through next time you call. Right? Hey, there's another 1,000 on it. Run it through next time you call. And I just keep doing that every time gift cards go on sale and I can get a deal, and just slowly pay for my cruise. But if I have to bail, the good news is DVC members, we know we're buying annual passes. We know we're paying dues. We know the mouse is, deep into our budget. Okay. So it's not like we're going to sit back like a normal consumer and go, what am I going to do with $6,000 of Disney gift cards now? Okay. Well, let me count the ways. Okay.
I love it where it says, I spend my money at Disney. The rest I just waste.
Nice.
Very true. Very true. Okay, well, that pretty much wraps up today's shows, and I want to thank Christy for joining us. Christy,
You're welcome.
where can people follow up with you as well and get a little bit more Christy action in your I want both? Okay.
So I podcast with Steve and Chris over at the DCL podcast. And then on social media, you can find me everywhere at Pack Your Pixie Dust.
So there you go. Pack
And
your
there's my
pixie
email.
dust. Yep. Your email, packyourpixiedust.com. And I think Pack Your Pixie Dust, that's your travel agency, right?
Well, so that is my business name, but I
Okay.
am a travel agent with a travel agency in Clinton Township. So just cruises and vacations. So that's
Okay.
where I book travel, but this is the business name.
Got it. So that's
Mhm.
just your business branding name to come up with the how to get pixie dust and Christy and all of it all together in one brand.
Yes.
I'm seeing the method to the madness. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. You guys have a great night, and we will see you next week with some more Disney DVC talk. And, tonight's episode was a little bit light on the news other than the DCL thing, which we debated whether we should cover it. We were going, everybody else is covering all this negative news. Why do we want to do it? But we felt it was a good discussion to have.
It's actually
just-
it's a good news of it, that.
Yeah, the good news of it is it's like it's a bad thing that's going on, but Disney is stepping up and doing the right thing and really enhancing their brand even in this time of crisis and emergency. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. You guys have a great night.
Bye.
See ya.
Good night.